Hi there, you're watching Market Cafe on ET Now with me, Shreyansi Singh and Srishti Sharma. And over the next 1 hour, we'll get you updates from within the country as well as across the globe, tell you which stocks you should be keeping on your radar, and tell you what the brokerages are saying as well. But first things first, let's take a look at what the US market then did and the kind of handover that we have.
Well, certainly. A very good morning, Shreyansi. And talking about the US market, was kind of a mixed rate coming in for the benchmark indices, wherein Dow Jones did end the day in the green with a mere 30 points of gain. But other than that, there was a fall in the tech-heavy Nasdaq, which declined over 1%. And key to note is actually the fall that we have seen in some of the counters there. Other than that, what we have seen is that Trump's commentary, because day in and day out, that's the crucial one to watch out for. And the latest that we get is Trump saying that the tariffs actually on the US and Mexico are going ahead as planned, and they are moving forward with that. But back to the markets, there are a couple of stocks that we wish to flag off. And first up, what we have seen is stocks like Alibaba that has declined over 10%, wherein the company did come out with a kind of an investments in AI and cloud investments over the next 3 years, ranging to $53 billion. And that did raise some profitability concerns for the investors. Other than that, it was Berkshire Hathaway. We know the commentary as well as the kind of strong operating cash flows by the company. It was a 4% jump for this particular counter, but Nvidia was the stock that was seen to have a decline of over 2% just ahead of its profit report. So that was the kind of cues we are getting from the US market itself, Shanti. But what else?
Well, absolutely. When you take a look at crude, very interesting cues coming in from there as well, because, when you take a look at the factors, though, there's not much that has really changed when it comes to crude. There's not much in terms of a change coming in, but when you take a look at the prices, though, on Monday, they settled higher. You do have fresh US sanctions on Iran that are under the spotlight at this point. A commitment to compensate for overproduction by Iraq is also something that added to concerns of near-term supply tightness. Now, worries of a supply glut is also something that has been in the focus. So there's been a little bit of market recovery from some of Friday's steep losses that we're seeing coming in. Now, Brent crude futures, of course, settled up 35 cents, so just about 0.5% there, about $74 a barrel is the kind of level that you're looking at for Brent crude. When you take a look at US WTI, just a 30-cent gain or 0.4% uptick coming in. $70 is the kind of level that US WTI was also maintaining. Now, on Friday, of course, you did have Brent that notched its lowest close since February 6th, while WTI then that had its lowest settlement so far this year. So largely, those are the kind of factors that you're seeing coming in. Of course, March Brent futures at the highest since February 11th also, like I mentioned. So some strength returning back to the oil prices is something that you're seeing right now, Srishti, with lots of concerns that still sort of remain, because you do have high US stockpiles that will continue to remain in the spotlight.
Well, certainly, let's have all eyes on that. But other than that, let's also tell you which are the other global cues that we will be tracking. First up, from the US market, it was the consumer confidence data that we'll be watching out for closely, as well as Japan will come out with its service PPI numbers. In terms of the global earnings, it's Home Depot. That stock will be definitely in focus. But some of the other events, South Korea Central Bank may lower the benchmark rates, so we'll be watching out for that, as well as some of the important Fed President Richard Tom Bakken will speak. So let's wait out for his comments as well.
Well, absolutely. Lots of commentary to keep an eye on. But tell you what, the top headline this hour, then tariff announcements seem to be feeding into fears across industries. Cupertino-based Apple has announced a whopping $500 billion investment in the United States over the next 4 years. In fact, the company is also going to be setting up a new advanced manufacturing factory in Texas. Now, the company expects to create 20,000 new jobs over the set period, with majority of the roles in research and development, software and AI. In fact, in its announcement, Apple said that its investment was its largest ever spent commitment and would also expand its support for American manufacturing. We are bullish on the future of American innovation, and that's the big headline coming in from Tim Cook as well, Srishti.
All right, we're moving on some of the other news then. And meanwhile, the US president reaffirms timeline for Mexican and Canadian import tariffs, saying that they are on time and on schedule. Now, despite efforts by the countries to beef up the border securities and halt the flow of fentanyl now into the US ahead of the March 4 deadline. Now, he has in fact also claimed that the US has been taking advantage of the foreign nations on just about everything and reiterated that the plan to impose the so-called tariff remains.
Alright, then moving on to some more news and updates. Shifting focus, then JP Morgan chief Jamie Dimon has taken a dig at the current US administration, calling it inefficient and in need of work as the Trump government terminates several employees. Dimon in fact added that the Trump administration's effort to rein in spending and scrutinize federal agencies needs to be done.
And keeping it up with the news flow from the United States, the U.S. Trade Representative's office has proposed charging up to $1.5 million for the Chinese-built vessels entering U.S. ports. Now, this is the move being amid the country's efforts to investigate China's growing domination of global shipbuilding, maritime and logistics sector. Now, in a Federal Register notice, USTR detailed its proposed fees and other shipping restrictions. The agency scheduled a March 24 public hearing on the remedies.
Rather than moving on, global coffee chain Starbucks will lay off as many as 1,100 corporate employees and will not be filling several other open positions. Now, in a message to employees, CEO said that the company is simplifying structure, removing layers and duplication and creating smaller, more nimble teams. Remember, these layoffs come as Starbucks tries to draw coffee drinkers back to its cafes after same-store sales declined for 4 straight quarters.
All right, but for this, viewers, it's now time to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Thank you so much for staying tuned in. But let's get your check going on the Asian markets, and not looking like a good day in trade coming in for the Asian markets. When you take a look at Australia's ASX 200, that's the one that fell just about 0.8% Nikkei on your screens. As you can see, it was the one that's declining 0.9% as well. There you have it. ASX 200 down 0.8% as well. When you take a look at South Korea's Kospi as well, even that one is holding on to a tinge of red at this point on your screens. 0.6% uptick thereabout coming in for Kospi as well. When you take a look at Hang Seng as well as Shanghai, both of them in fact are holding on to a downtick. In fact, sharper cuts coming in for both the Hang Seng as well as the Shanghai, 1.9% thereabout downtick coming in. For the Hang Seng, that's the one that is declining the most within this entire pack. Shanghai, of course, down just 0.5% thereabout. So largely, that's the kind of handover that you have, a very weak handover as far as the Asian markets are concerned. Now, in terms of the Nifty back home, you did have Nifty that shut shop around the 22,500 levels. And currently, what is being penciled in is a rather subdued start, Srishti. So let's really see how that pans out for us.
Well, certainly, Shransi, we did break below that 22,600 mark. Let's see whether or not we are able to reclaim in today's trading session. But let's move on to another story then. And Madhya Pradesh is strengthening its MSME sector with investor-friendly policies and strong support for small businesses. Now, in an exclusive conversation at Madhya Pradesh Global Investor Summit 2025, MSME Minister Chaitanya Kashyap shared insights on state's vision for MSMEs and economic growth. Let's hear him out.
सर, सबसे पहला मेरा सवाल है कि लोकल बिजनेसेस एमएसएमई स्टार्टअप को बढ़ावा देने के लिए सरकार ने कैसे कैसे कदम उठाए?
आज प्रधानमंत्री जी के द्वारा एमएसएमई की पॉलिसी और स्टार्टअप की पॉलिसी का क्रियान्वयन प्रारंभ किया गया है और इन दोनों पॉलिसी के माध्यम से हमने जो वर्तमान समय में हमारे मध्य प्रदेश के युवाओं की आवश्यकताएं थी उसको पूरा डिटेलिंग करके सबसे चर्चा करके और नीतियों के अंदर हम लाए हैं और आज प्रधानमंत्री जी के यह शुभारंभ का जो कार्यक्रम हुआ है इससे एक बहुत बड़ा आत्मविश्वास मध्य प्रदेश के युवाओं में बढ़ा है और उन्होंने जो मध्य प्रदेश की असीम संभावनाओं के बारे में यहाँ का उन्होंने विवरण जो दिया है इससे देश और विदेश के भी कई हमारे प्रमुख इन्वेस्टर्स यहाँ पर थे उनके मन में कॉन्फिडेंस आया है कि मध्य प्रदेश एक संभावना वाला प्रदेश है और मैं समझता हूँ इन सारी चीज़ों के समावेश से मध्य प्रदेश के युवाओं के लिए स्टार्टअप में नए भविष्य की संभावना है।
एक दुनिया को आप क्या संदेश देना चाहेंगे जो एक टैगलाइन चल रही इन्वेस्ट इन मध्य प्रदेश को लेकर?
हम दुनिया के सारे प्रसिद्ध उद्योगपति यहाँ पर आज उपस्थित भी थे, उन सब के बीच में कहेंगे कि मध्य प्रदेश एक असीम संभावना वाला प्रदेश है और यहाँ की सरकार एक सहयोगी और फ्रेंडली सरकार है जो ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस, वो ट्रांसपेरेंसी, पारदर्शिता के लिए लेकर के कार्य को करेगी। आप अगर यहाँ आते हैं तो आपका विकास, आपके व्यापार का, आपके उद्योग का भी विकास होगा, साथ में मध्य प्रदेश का वो देश का विकास भी होगा।
Alright, then moving on, the Madhya Pradesh Global Investors Summit 2025 has opened new doors for business and growth. In fact, investors from across the world are showing keen interest in sectors the likes of infrastructure, IT, manufacturing and renewable energy. With strong policies and a business-friendly environment, then Madhya Pradesh is attracting major investments that will boost economic growth and job creation. Let's hear out then from business leaders on their investment plans for the state.
Today, I'm proud to announce a new investment of over rupees 1,10,000 crore in the areas of a pump storage, cement, mining, smart meters, and a thermal energy.
Madhya Pradesh has a lot of opportunity and we are very glad to see these opportunities and we will continue to invest in Madhya Pradesh.
पतंजलि मध्य प्रदेश में किसानों के लिए, किसानों से जुड़े हुए उद्योग में सबसे अग्रणी भूमिका पहले से ही निभा रहा है। 5 लाख टन से ज्यादा हम सोया प्रोसेस करते हैं, गेहूं का प्रोसेस करते हैं, जड़ी बूटियां, हर्बल सब कुछ चीज करते हैं। तो इसीलिए क्योंकि संभावनाएं बहुत हैं और पतंजलि काम भी बहुत कर रहा है। और एग्रीकल्चर के सेक्टर में क्योंकि जितना आप प्रोसेस करेंगे रोजगार ज्यादा बढ़ेगा और अच्छे उत्पाद होंगे कृषि के, तो स्वास्थ्य भी लोगों का बढ़ेगा। तो हम इसी के लिए काम करने वाले हैं।
Alright, then there you have it. That's the word coming in from Business
Tech and Leadership Forum. Anurag Joshi caught up with Microsoft India President Puneet Chandok to discuss the future of AI in the country and the role that the tech giant is going to play. Let's go across and listen in.
We're off the hype cycle on AI. We're seeing pragmatic value now with use cases across both numerator and denominator. Numerator is top line impact and denominator is more productivity and efficiency. But again, across the board, lots of impact coming through and a lot more to do.
Right. So, Puneet, Microsoft and Cognizant, you are taking your partnership to the next stage, to the next level, and now this is a strategic partnership. How is this partnership ushering in a new era of AI and that's boosting efficiency, both in serving your customers and also with Copilot and also with cloud solutions?
I think, as Ravi said, right, this is a strategic partnership. This is meaningful for both Microsoft and Cognizant. And going back to this theme around saying customers are over the hype cycle, they're looking for pragmatic value. And for us to deliver that, we and Microsoft and Cognizant need to come together and make that happen. I think there are 3 aspects to the partnership. First is what Ravi spoke about, Cognizant deploying Microsoft tools like Copilot, so the 25,000 Copilots being deployed and driving productivity in Cognizant. Second is going to market together so across the global 2,000 customers that Cognizant has, going and really making AI transformation real and impactful. Third is skilling. 35,000 people at Cognizant have been skilled on GitHub Copilot, another 40,000 to be skilled, and Ravi is really building a future-ready workforce, and we're partnering with them to make that happen, right? So across all 3, which is like deploy Microsoft tools and capabilities within Cognizant, go to market together, and then build skills in a future-ready workforce. That's how we're coming together to really deliver pragmatic value for customers.
In the last visit to India, Satya Nadella committed $3 billion over a period of 2 years for skilling and also AI and cloud in India. So how's Microsoft looking to move forward with this commitment, and have you taken any steps so far?
So I think, first of all, I just want to build on what Ravi said. It was fascinating, right? Which is, one is we're seeing AI play a role in tech to tech, tech for tech, which is make tech more efficient. Second is expand markets and create more TAM that we couldn't serve earlier. So I think that's one thing which I just want to reinforce. As Microsoft, going back to your point, right, when Satya was here, we made the commitment of $3 billion in AI and data infrastructure and cloud infrastructure. in training 10 million people in India over the next few years. We're committed to that. It's a big vote of confidence for India and our commitment, and we truly want to do stuff that moves the country forward. So as Microsoft, super excited and committed to doing that, and then this partnership with Cognizant is something that will allow us to deliver real pragmatic value for our customers globally.
All right, then moving on to some more important news and updates, then the government has invited bids from merchant bankers for select PSU banks and financial companies stake sale, which will be open till March 27th. In fact, Ankur Mishra is joining in on the phone line with some more details. Ankur.
The government has invited bids from merchant bankers for select PSU banks as well as financial companies stake sale. Now, DIPAM to impanel bankers for 3 years, and that will be extendable by 1 year as well. Now, this whole exercise is on till March 27, whereby the bids for impanelment are open. And impanelment under two categories will be there. One is A plus for deals more than 2,500 crore, and one is for A for smaller transactions, which government is looking to dilute the stake. Now, these selected bankers need to conduct market surveys, roadshows, and investor meetings. The government has already made the sale criteria clear. There is no clear-cut target which was set up for any financial year. But overall, DIPAM may select one or more bankers as per the transaction or as per requirement.
All right, now coming to an update in the New India Cooperative Bank embezzlement of funds case, the RBI permitted depositors of the New India Cooperative Bank Limited to withdraw up to Rs 25,000. Now, the withdrawal limit relaxation will be effective from February 27, 2025. Anjali is here with more details.
In a major relief to the consumers of the New India Cooperative Bank, the RBI has announced that depositors will now be able to withdraw as much as 25,000 rupees from their bank accounts, and this will be effective February 27th. Now, RBI has said in a press release that after assessing the liquidity position of the bank, they have come to this amount, which is 25,000 rupees, and this will cover over 50% of the bank's depositors, who will now be able to withdraw all of the amount that they had deposited. So consumers will now be able to withdraw this money, and this can be done through the branches of the bank as well as ATMs, and it can be done over multiple transactions. However, the cumulative total will have to be under 25,000 rupees. Along with this, the RBI has also announced some changes in the committee of advisors to the administrator of the bank, and the central bank has also said that they will continue to monitor the situation at the bank. Now, just a few developments that have happened in the recent past. One is that the RBI had allowed certain depositors to withdraw their money in case of medical emergencies. And now this latest development has given the depositors another reason to breathe a sigh of relief.
All right, thanks Anjali for getting us all of those important details. Moving on then, sources tell your channel that 361 Assets PE Fund has sought fast-track approval from the IRDAI for acquiring a 15% stake in Bharti AXA Life Insurance. In fact, this comes as IRDAI has eased investment norms for private equity funds in insurance companies as well. In fact, we do have Anurag Shah who's joining in with some more details. Anurag, over to you.
Fund managed by 361 has announced about buying a stake of 15% in Bharti AXA Life Insurance company, and they have applied for regulatory approval also to regulator IRDA, and as per our sources, company, the fund is likely to get the approval also, and our sources are also telling that now IRDA will fast track the approval of investment made by PE firms, because this used to be a concern of PE firms that IRDA approval used to take a lot of time due to the investment structure of PE firms and due diligence which IRDA need to done. But going ahead, the approval process will be fastened, and we have seen that rules for investment by PE firms also got amended by IRDA. Previously, it was restricted up to 10% only, and above the 10%, the SPV need to be formed. But now that rules has been changed, and PE funds can invest up to 25% in a insurance company. So to attract more and more capital, IRDA changed the rules, and going ahead we'll see that a lot of PE funds will be investing in insurance sector, life insurance companies, general insurance companies. There is a lock-in period of 5 years for a PE fund, because insurance is a long-term business, long-term companies need a time to make profit, and for that purpose only there is a lock-in period also for PE fund in insurance company, which is 5 years. So IRDA is going to fasten the process for approving investment made by PE funds in insurance companies.
All right, thank you so much, Anurag, for getting us all those details. But moving on, in a latest development, amid furor over Infosys sacking of over 700 employees, sources say that the company has postponed assessments of employees indefinitely. Sumita Karir is here with more details.
Yes, in fact, sources suggest that Infosys has deferred employee assessments indefinitely. These set of employee assessments were to happen on February 24th. Now they have been postponed indefinitely, and Infosys actually mentions that in an email that's been sent out to employees, and ET now has accessed that email wherein Infosys states the reason for deferring of these assessments. It says, and I quote, "We are here to help you prepare better and have decided to provide additional training and support from subject matter experts so you can successfully clear the assessment. Therefore, the third attempt of the generic FA2 assessment, originally scheduled for February 24th, has been rescheduled. We will soon convey revised rates." Now, it's important to note that this decision by the company is coming in even as pressure is building up by terminated employees and, of course, employees within the company who are awaiting their final set of assessments. And they're not really happy with what Infosys has stated. In fact, sources tell ET now, some of those employees have told ET now that Infosys' reasoning is a cover-up. The company did not give liberty to the employees who were forcefully terminated. They also say that employees were thrown out in a single day without notice, without severance, or even a place to stay for the night, and now the company is trying to avoid further controversy. Now, important to note that the matter has also reached not just the State Labour Department, but the Union Labour and Employment Ministry as well, which directed the State Labour Department to look into this matter. And sources also suggest that the State Labour Department officials had a meeting with Infosys officials, and they were not very pleased about how layoffs within the IT sector are happening. There is a lack of trust. So that's essentially what the matter is. Now, to explain further into what these assessments are, well, the first two set of assessments with these employees has happened, and which eventually led to the termination of employees. Now, some reports suggest that it's slightly over 300. However, terminated employees say that it's over 700, to the tune of 700 employees that have been laid off. And this was supposed to be the third of such assessments, and the results would have come out after the assessment, but that has been postponed now.
All right, thanks, Sumita, for getting us all of those important details when it comes to Infosys. Let's get you some more news and updates, though, then. The Inland Waterways Authority of India has held talks with the Delhi government and other stakeholders to bring ferries and cruises to the Yamuna. In fact, sources tell ET now that the government is preparing for the beautification of the Yamuna River and boosting tourism as well. My colleague Sameer Dikshit, in fact, is standing by with more details. Sameer.
Certainly, River Yamuna has played a very important role for BJP to get back into power of Delhi state, that too almost after 26-27 years. And that is the reason that now BJP state government is focusing not just to revive Yamuna, but also to promote various activities related to River Yamuna. In the same direction, before even oath-taking ceremony, the cleaning of River Yamuna started. And now what we are picking up from our sources, that very soon water-related activity, for example, the running of ferry boat or a cruise on River Yamuna in Delhi is possible. A very important meeting by the Inland Waterways Authority with other stakeholders was held on 10th of February, and this was discussed that in the first phase, a 4-kilometer stretch of ferry boat could be done on River Yamuna in Delhi. That could be from Hanuman Mandir till Shani Mandir. This 4 kilometer of stretch will include a charging station. This will also include 2 or 3 stoppage point as well. In the long run, the government is looking to revive River Yamuna, and then they can start at least a cruise boat from Delhi till Agra, that is Taj Mahal, for those who want to visit Taj Mahal, and this will help to promote tourism as well. So for the same, IWAI, the nodal authority, has submitted that a drench of 1 to 1.2 meter is very necessary, and for the same, a deep cleaning of River Yamuna has to be done. And for the same, now Delhi government has started taking steps as well. But overall, if you see, the larger concentration is to revive River Yamuna, and then to start water-related activities in River Yamuna as well. And the steps has already started being taken from the Delhi government side.
All right, thank you so much, Sami, for getting us all those details. But with this few years, it's once again time to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. As we come right back, we'll tell you the stocks to watch out for in today's trading session.
In association with SBI, be scam safe.
Today we have broken below that 22,600 mark as well, a shade of red all over the screen, and especially the benchmark indices leading the fall from the front. Other than that, what we have seen is that the broader market participation wasn't that much. But the key to note is the kind of build-up we have seen in the F&O space. So let's try and understand that, what kind of a snapshot is coming in from the F&O world, and Ansh is here to give us all those details.
So starting with Nifty first, if you can see the chart, Nifty has actually given a breakdown from its key support of that 22,700, 800 mark, which was intact from last week of Jan. So this indicates that there is very bearish sentiment in the market. Also, the index has touched its 8-month low level. Now, if we talk about index future, then here we are seeing that open interest has gone down by around 22%, indicating long unwinding. So longs are getting cut from here, but they are adding shorts in the March contract from Feb contract. Now, if we talk about index options, then we are seeing most active call writing has been happening at that 22,800 strike, indicating option traders expecting strong resistance around this level. This is the same level which was acting as a support, which has turned, seems to be have turned resistance now. If we talk about Nifty Bank, then here also we are seeing a similar movement. It has given a breakdown from its key support of that 48,700, 800 mark. Though we saw some recovery of day's low, but still it closed below that key level only. Now we need to come back above these key levels to get back on the bullish front. If we talk about index future positioning, then FII in the previous session added some longs, but at the same time they have added 11,200 short contract, due to which the total position has gone down by around 8,000 contract, and the total long position stands at 15.3% right now. If we talk about retail's position, then they have added longs by around 9,800 contract, due to which the total long position stands at around 69.7% currently. So both of them getting in opposite direction, and both Nifty and Nifty Bank needs to come above those key levels to get back on the bullish front.
All right, thanks Ansh for that update coming in as far as the futures and options are concerned. But tell you what, let's also get you a list then on the stocks that are likely to be in focus. In fact, Gaurav is standing by with just that list. Gaurav.
Well, yes. First, let's begin our list today with NTPC, because this company has signed an MOU with government of Madhya Pradesh. They will be investing around 2 lakh crore rupees in the state. At the same time, NTPC Green also signed an MOU with Madhya Pradesh Power Generating Company. So a big announcement coming up from NTPC and NTPC Green. Other than that, ONGC is going to be in focus, because company is going to make an investment in ONGC Green Limited. They will be making this investment via rights issue worth 1,200 crore rupees. So definitely this stock is also worth watching out for. Biocon is yet another counter which will be in focus today, because company is one of the subsidiaries, has announced that one of the drug called Yesinitech is now available for customers in USA. This is actually one of the first Stelara biosimilar drug as per the company, and that is the reason why this company is going to be in focus. IREDA is yet another counter which will be in focus today, because company's shareholders have now approved QIP. The overall value of this QIP is going to be worth around 5,000 crore rupees. Lastly, let's also watch out for LIC Housing Finance, because board meeting is going to be on the 5th of January, where board will consider fundraising for the company. So definitely watching out on all these companies on the back of the news flow that we have received in the morning.
Thank you so much, Gaurav, for getting us all those details. But other than that, all eyes today will be on Interglobe Aviation. After today, Goldman Sachs has come out with a view on this one. While they maintain their buy rating on this particular counter with the target price of 5,050 rupees. What they're highlighting is that one of the key monitorables for the aviation industry, that is the passenger load factors for the month of January and February, that stands between 90 to 93%, and quarter to date the domestic traffic is up around 13% on a YY basis. The yields for Jan and Feb are already of 5% on a yearly basis, and the domestic passenger growth is likely to be 20% up quarter to date. The capacity expansion for Interglobe Aviation should not be a constraint is what they are highlighting, but the key to note is also that a couple of these brokerage notes have already come in, because just yesterday we have seen that City note flowing in where they have opened a 90-day positive catalyst watch, raising the target price to 5,200 rupees, and for the past 6 consecutive days Interglobe Aviation is already in a run-up. So on the back of today's report, Interglobe Aviation will be in focus yet again.
Well, absolutely. We'll be watching out for Interglobe Aviation, but another sector that is likely to be in focus is, of course, pharma. And currently, you have seen the impact of tariffs that has taken the spotlight as well. Let's get you some commentary coming in on that front end, because Milind Karmarkar, who's a director and fund manager, Dalal and Brocha portfolio manager, sees no major impact of tariffs on pharma. In fact, he also sees the entire pharma pack as an investment opportunity. Let's go across and listen in to his view coming in on the sector.
Though Indian pharma are the largest suppliers to the United States also depends on it. Yep. So there also I don't think there will be any major tariffs which will come in. Many of the pharma companies in India who export to US have set up a plant in US as well. So I don't think even those tariffs are going to be impacted. There will be some impact, of course, on commodities, but there again, if you see, US will be importing inflation because of these tariffs, and these could be short term. So I'm not so concerned about it.
We'll refer to this data for the benefit of our viewers a little later, but the US healthcare cost is growing at 7%.
Yes.
US economy is growing at 3%.
Correct.
You put in tariffs, you actually make medicines more expensive.
Still expensive.
And why would you want to do that when your deficit is already ballooning?
Absolutely.
So increasing tariffs on pharma is like you're trying to you're trying to shoot your leg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. So in this decline, if pharma stocks have fallen, with the assumption that pharma tariffs are not going to be stiff, should one buy into the US exporters like a Sun Pharma or a Lupin or Aurobindo, companies or Cipla, which export to US?
So I would definitely look at the quality of management before investing. But yes, this is an opportunity there, because all these companies which you mentioned, they not only, so US is only a one leg for them. They also have an India leg, and they also have a rest of the world leg. And all three are likely to grow. So yes, I will be definitely looking at pharma as a whole for investing.
All right, but with this, viewers, we are completely timed out in this edition of Market Cafe. It's a goodbye from me and Shreyansi and the whole team who put this show together. Thanks so much for tuning in.